Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to keep making horror stories. Thank you very much. Let's start the story.
The legend of Canterville Chase grew even more mysterious after the Mortons' encounter with Morgana. The tale of Clara Morton's bravery and the subsequent release of Sir Simon de Canterville and Morgana the Witch became the stuff of local lore. The manor, now peaceful, stood as a silent sentinel to the stories that unfolded within its walls. Years passed, and the estate once again changed hands. This time, it was purchased by a reclusive historian named Dr. Evelyn Hartley. Known for her extensive research on paranormal phenomena and historical mysteries, Dr. Hartley was drawn to Canterville Chase not just for its beauty, but for its storied past. Dr. Hartley moved in with her young assistant, Daniel, and her teenage niece, Fiona. Fiona, much like Clara Morton, was curious and unafraid of the supernatural. Unlike her aunt, who approached everything with scientific skepticism, Fiona believed that the past could speak to those willing to listen. From the moment they arrived, Fiona felt a presence in the manor. She experienced odd occurrences: books falling off shelves, flickering lights, and strange whispers. Though these incidents unsettled Dr. Hartley and Daniel, Fiona felt a deep connection to the house. One night, she discovered Clara Morton's journal in the library. The journal, left behind after the Mortons' hurried departure, detailed Clara's encounters and the rituals that freed Sir Simon and Morgana. As Fiona read Clara's words, she noticed a recurring mention of another spirit, one that Clara had sensed but never confronted. This spirit, referred to as the Watcher, seemed to observe the events without interference. Intrigued, Fiona decided to investigate further. The following night, armed with Clara's journal and a flashlight, Fiona explored the manor. Her steps echoed in the silent halls, and she could feel the weight of centuries pressing down upon her. She found herself drawn to the old cellar, where Clara had uncovered Morgana's remains. As she descended the stairs, the temperature dropped, and the air grew thick with an oppressive energy. In the cellar, Fiona discovered a hidden passage behind a stack of old crates. It led to a small, dark room filled with cobwebs and dust. At the center of the room was an ancient, ornate mirror. The frame was adorned with symbols that Fiona recognized from Clara's journal, protective runes against evil spirits. As she approached the mirror, Fiona felt a chill run down her spine. She could see her reflection, but there was something else, an indistinct, shadowy figure standing behind her. She turned quickly, but the room was empty. Heart pounding, Fiona looked back at the mirror. The shadowy figure began to take shape, and Fiona found herself staring into the eyes of a man dressed in 16th century garb. His expression was one of sorrow and resignation. Realizing that this must be the Watcher, Fiona spoke softly. "Who are you?" she asked. The figure's voice echoed in her mind rather than through the air. "I am Lord William Ravenscroft, the original owner of Canterville Chase. I have watched over this place for centuries, bound by a curse that predates even Morgana's." Fiona's curiosity burned brighter. "What curse binds you here?" Lord Ravenscroft's form wavered as he spoke. "I was cursed by my own hand. In a moment of desperation and grief, I invoked dark magic to protect my family and our home from invaders. The spell backfired, trapping me in this liminal state between life and death. I became the Watcher, eternally bound to witness the suffering that befell those who lived here." Determined to help, Fiona asked, "How can I free you from this curse?" "There is a ritual," Ravenscroft said. "It requires the blood of my descendant and the invocation of the ancient gods of my time. The blood will break the bond, and the invocation will release my spirit." Fiona knew what she had to do. She rushed to find Dr. Hartley and Daniel, recounting her encounter with the Watcher. Though skeptical, Dr. Hartley agreed to help, recognizing the historical significance of the situation. Together, they gathered the necessary ingredients for the ritual. On the night of the full moon, they prepared the cellar for the ritual. Fiona, as the only direct descendant of Lord Ravenscroft in their group, would perform the invocation. She stood before the mirror, a small cut on her hand dripping blood onto a silver chalice. As the blood pooled, she began to chant the ancient words that Ravenscroft had taught her. The air around them grew colder, and a powerful wind swept through the room. The mirror glowed with an eerie light, and Lord Ravenscroft's form appeared more solid than ever before. Fiona continued the incantation, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her heart. As she spoke the final words, the chalice of blood erupted into flames. The light from the mirror intensified, enveloping Ravenscroft's figure. He let out a cry, a mixture of pain and relief, as the light consumed him. When the glow faded, the room was plunged into darkness. For a moment there was silence. Then, the oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a sense of peace. Fiona felt a hand on her shoulder and turned to see a much younger-looking Lord Ravenscroft. His face was free of sorrow, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you," he whispered. "You have freed me and brought peace to Canterville Chase." With those words, Ravenscroft's spirit dissolved into the air, leaving behind a sense of calm and finality. Fiona, Dr. Hartley, and Daniel stood in the quiet cellar, the enormity of what they had just accomplished sinking in. The next day, as they packed up to leave, Fiona took one last look at Canterville Chase. It no longer felt haunted or foreboding. Instead, it seemed like a grand old house, filled with the echoes of history, but free from the shadows of its past. She knew that the spirits of Sir Simon, Morgana, and Lord Ravenscroft were finally at rest. As they drove away, Fiona felt a sense of closure and satisfaction. She had not only uncovered the mysteries of Canterville Chase, but had also helped to resolve them. The legend of the haunted manor would live on, but it would be a story of redemption, bravery, and the power of compassion. The tale of the Canterville Ghost had come to an end, but Fiona knew that her journey into the world of the supernatural was just beginning. She carried with her the knowledge that sometimes the past needs a voice to speak its truths, and she was ready to listen.